You were watching a lot of like 80s B action movies and stuff like that?
I always watch that kind of movies.
Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Belgian Jasper. If this is your first time at the channel, hit subscribe right now. So Shawter, thank you so much for your time today. Actually, the day that we are recording this is special because today the latest music video for Sunfall came out. That's exciting. The album is out for about a month now as we speak. But first, let's focus on this new video. With the sunrise, don't waste the breath, look at the light. Help me understand the meaning behind the lyrics a little bit more, because I think I see two sides of somebody writing this song. I hear, I'll be like the sun and, we will disappear. But at the same time, I'm also hearing you say we will be found and we won't turn to ashes. A sense of fatality there, but definitely two sides of one coin. Help me understand.
First, I'd like to say that in Dagoba, I'm always, most of time writing about love and death, but most. 80% of my lyrics are talking about love and 20% are talking about death. And I think in that song, yeah, maybe we have those two elements in one song.
Now that the album is out for a month and you've had some reaction to that, looking back, how was this experience for you? Because obviously it was very weird with the world situation and so on, and you'd love to be right now not talking to me but on a stage promoting the album already. You have to wait 2 more weeks for that, I think. Looking back, what was this experience like for you?
It was both very exciting and exhausting too, because it was a lot of work to compose, produce, release, and promote this album with Napalm Records. Was a lot of work because we decided to release many singles and with many video. So it was and it was for us actually the first time that we are releasing 4, 5, maybe 6 singles in video. So it's different for us, but we really appreciate this because it helped the development of the band. And we can really propose all the faces of the band. So yeah, it's exhausting but very exciting.
Let's address an elephant in the room. This is, and correct me if you disagree, but this is a new start for the band. This is the first album after some turbulent times for the bands. We've seen people go, we've seen people come. First album of Napalm, and few bands have been on so many labels as you have. Does this feel as a new start for you with the support of Napalm?
Yes, but in the same time, I would say that for an artist, every album is a new start, because you propose a new face of yourself, new songs, new universe, and to me, as an artist, as a project, to me, every album is a new start. But of course, talking about pure business, being with a label such as Napalm is at the same time a new start and a big step forward, because we all know Napalm, and they know how to deal with metal. So
yeah.
Ready or not, tell me coming, I'm an animal.
Okay, all right. Well, and so let's talk about, you know, every album is a new start and doing things differently, which has basically been almost like a motto for Dagoba from the start. With, you know, what Hell is about, and specifically the song "The Fall of Men" is how I got introduced to Dagoba. Like now,
all right.
it's almost 20 years ago now, which is crazy. And I don't want to make you feel old, but it's been a while. Now, the style of music has definitely changed, and we want to get into that. But from the moment that I discovered your band, it always felt like you guys were like, oh, there are rules? Why would we care about rules? Like, we want to have blast beats, a guitar solo, and clean vocals all over that at the same time. And that was a very fresh approach at that time. On this album as well, there's a lot of, you try new things, new sounds. Before we go into the new album specifically, that has been very clearly important to you, to kind of, you know, experiment. Metal is an interesting world where both trying new things and experimenting are both rewarded, but also punished at the same time, because you don't necessarily fit into a specific label, or you can't really play with that band, or that crowd is not perfect for you. How has that been for you now that you've had, you know, all these albums and you've seen the success and the evolution that the band has gone through? I've seen you on some of the biggest stages in metal, and you've played some of the smallest clubs as well. How has that been for you, that journey where you sometimes never fit in?
I really don't care, because I mean, if I want to make big money, making a job for a living, a boring job, very repetitive, where I wake up every morning and at the same time, and every day, I did it before.
Yeah.
When I decided to embrace this career, it was not to get bored, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just want to make the music I like to play, and I don't listen to other artists, We have no boundary talking about influences, but I think that now, after 8 albums, people now know that, and they know our sound. I mean, the main element is the rock band is Dagoba, and people now know about us. So, of course, talking about arrangement, yeah, we are coming with ethnic instruments, classical one, electro, industrial, and everything. But I think that now our sound, we fit in our own case, I think.
Okay. The sound today is maybe a little bit more accessible and is a little bit more balanced than it has been in the past, where, you know, when you guys were coming out, it was much more extreme than it is today. Is that just a natural evolution of like removing those boundaries, or is that something that you were, you know, proactively thinking about as you are writing new material?
I don't think it's an evolution of the band. I think it's what we want to propose today.
Okay.
I really don't know if the next album is gonna be softer or a black metal album. I can't tell you today, but It's not an evolution. We are not getting softer and softer. I think this is not true, because I think that, for example, Face the Colossus, our 3rd album, was softer than Black Nova, our previous album. So we are just proposing the music that we want to play. and that we
go.
don't listen from other artists, and that's it.
Yeah.
But of course, you are right. The on By Night, we really wanted that each chorus of each song was the highlight of the song.
That is something that will make a lot of these songs work really well live, especially for a newer audience. And we talked about, we teased it earlier in this conversation. You are about to go on tour with Infected Rain.
Yeah.
So usually I keep that to the very end of the conversation, but let's talk maybe a little bit about, this upcoming tour, given, a band like you that does things different all the time. That must be challenging maybe for you to come up with like, hey, we have a set list, we have a certain time, there are a million different sides to Dagoba, and we have to kind of bring that into one cohesive set to introduce our band to an audience. How long does it take for you to come up with like the right set list, and what should the fans expect?
Actually, we build up our set list mostly like a movie soundtrack with an intro and some peripecy,
some action.
Some action. It's good, and that's how we plan the shit, So we have a lot of songs now because of 8 albums. Means a lot of songs, and so of course when we start a tour, we always focus on the latest record, so we pick minimum 3 or 4 songs from the previous record, but then we build it up like a movie soundtrack.
One song in particular stands out as well for a different reason. On the song On the Run, that you share vocal duties, female singer.
Not a moment to stop, not a moment to spare.
Who is the singer? Because I don't find a lot of information about her.
No, she want to reveal her name.
Okay.
So that's part of the deal we have with her. So we respect this, and we are waiting for her to come.
But yeah, because it's interesting, because now that the album is out for some time, and that was also one of the singles for which a video exists, and you see a lot of very positive feedback on the fact, like, hey, this sounds really cool. What is this going on? So hopefully whoever helped you with that is emboldened by all that positive feedback.
What I can tell you is that she's not a metalhead at all.
Yes.
She's not a name. She's not a name. Metalheads. No.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah. Well, it will be. We'll be curious to see if at some point you guys get to reveal, and we'll obviously also be interested to find out how are you going to tackle that song on your live shows. Will you bring on board a different supporting singer, or how are you going to, assuming that single would be one of the songs that makes a set list?
I don't know. I think that we will probably play it live with her when we'll be touring in her country. But it makes no sense to bring her on tour just to sing one song every night,
Yeah. Okay. So now we can start to look into the mystery, because we assume now from what you just said that the current tour with Infected Rain is at least going to pass through her country. So that's interesting.
I'll be on the run for all time.
If our agency tell us that we can promote this album for the next 4 or 5 years, and touring around the world, and traveling just like we did for Black Nova, I sign. I sign for it, because traveling is the best parts of the Dagoba business, I think.
Yeah.
We are seeing so many things. We are meeting so many different people, civilization, and everything is so exciting. That's the best part of it.
Awesome. All right. Well, luckily you can start doing that in April with Infected Rain, and you can start your first tour to support this album, and we'll all keep our eyes open to see you guys somewhere down the road. Shawter, I want to thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it, and I wish you all the best with the continued release cycle and more videos coming, I hear, and the tours that are coming ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much.
I'll be on the run for all time.
You are awesome for watching this video. Click right here to see more content like it and subscribe to the channel.